Okay, proud boomer, you're admitting to bullying people who still stayed at home with their parents after they turned 18. You realize the stigma against multigenerational living is a white American thing, right? A toxic individualism thing, a hoodwinked by capitalism thing. Other generations and other cultures did not have this bizarre expectation that we boot kids to the curb when they turn 18, or sometimes before. Most non-white Americans didn't have this cultural standard at all. And pre-20th century white Americans didn't either. Multigenerational living has been the norm for humans throughout history. But it's a lot harder for a capitalist system to make money off of folks who have familial and community support. Capitalism benefits by splitting households. Twice the rent, twice the furniture, twice the utilities. Have to buy more things to furnish and care for two households. Folks spend less, conserve resources, learn to find satisfaction in something other than buying crap when we maintain the system of support through intergenerational living. So of course capitalism has to try to obliterate that. So this is where toxic individualism is a tool of capitalism, right? If we can teach people that they should not rely on each other, if we can shame people who want to focus on relationships instead of stuff, if we can stigmatize conserving resources by living at home, if we can demean teens for having strong connected relationships with their parents, capitalism benefits. Toxic individualism is a tool of capitalism. And when we reject this very bizarre notion that the boomers are so proud of, what we're doing is we are reinforcing more sustainable ways of living. We're rejecting capitalism, we're rejecting rabid consumerism, we're rejecting toxic individualism. We are unlearning the patterns that our boomer parents were so easily seduced by, that were so incredibly toxic, not only to individuals but to the family and to community at large. And the more that we can process the harm that the parenting of boomer and silent gen parents inflicted on us, the more that we can deconstruct from the paradigms that hurt us so much and learn not to perpetuate them, the more I think our dependence on toxic individualism in a capitalist system unravels. The more we see that, like, most people in the world don't live this way. It's a white America problem. It's a simping for capitalism problem. And I firmly believe that deconstructing from the way that we were raised is the first step in deconstructing from capitalism. It's a radical thing to want to acknowledge and process the harm that has been done to you in childhood and learn to break those cycles so you don't repeat it. I think there's significant benefits, not only for us, for our children, but for everybody in society. Because picking apart and learning to reject the toxic parenting we were subjected to is the beginning of picking apart and unraveling our dependence on toxic individualism and capitalism. It's a rejection of all of the harm that is so normalized in our culture and beginning to find our way back to connection, relationships, community support.